What do you know about jinn? Jinn is an intelligent inorganic physical which in terms of their existence from the point of view of religions, it is lower than human and higher than animal. Jinn means what covered and we mean to keep it hidden from our senses. Physical characteristics of jinn from human point of view, it is amazing. The main element of the existence of jinn is fire, and due to the lack of the element of soil in its existence, like Barba Papa, it can be transformed into any shape and size and move many things in one. It also has a very high speed of movement. It can, for example, cover the distance between Lahore and Tehran within 5 minutes and return. Due to its unique physical characteristics, it is able to live in any place and condition and therefore does not need a home because cold, heat, wind and storm do not affect it. Jinn does not need means of transportation. Subscribe our YouTube channel to watch the rest of this video and more. And from this, it can be understood that jinns do not have industry and technology, and they do not have a city or home. Their usual place of residence is mountains, forests, and plains. Jinn eats like all living things, but to much lesser extent than humans. Jinn, like humans, have the same sexuality as humans. They can reproduce and form families, and live in groups. Jinns live longer than humans, about 1000 years and more, but the interesting thing I have to say about the life of the jinn is that the jinns are very slow in their physical growth, so that it is not at all comparable to our ideas of say a 400-year-old human being, and the jinn may acquire the full potential of an adult human within 4 weeks of birth. The jinn has intellect, but not philosophical intellect and artistic creativity. Jinn intellect means the power to evaluate everyday affairs or the intellect of livelihood, and is the power of discernment, plus rich intelligence, both the power of reading thoughts and searching and finding the past and the future. Jinns are named like humans, and they have a name and a tradition and a reputation. Jinn in a position is capable of conquering man, and man in circumstances able to conquer them. Jinns can be trained in some cases to serve men. They help us. Jinn, like some of us, as well as our jewelry, are valuables, including rings with stone gems. The jinn live on the surface and underground of the seas and in general everywhere except some parts of the earth and the last 2 heavens which are forbidden to them. However, they prefer places that are less secluded and less used, such as barns, basements, and old buildings. The point is that they are not interested in the upper floors or towers and busy places without a special rhythm. It is said that the jinn are also interested under the fruit trees and are also present there. One of the other favorite places of the jinn is celebrations and especially weddings, because they are inherently fond of dancing and singing, and they are present in many places of it. The wavelength of the voice of a jinn is different from that of a human voice, which is why humans are not able to hear the voice of a jinn, except for certain people who have this ability. Of course, the way these people receive the voice of the jinn is not the same. For example, some recognize this sound in the form of a tape, and others in the form of a whispers and blah blah blah. Interestingly, the jinn are able to change their voice in such a way that a person who is unable to hear their voice cannot hear it. But they cannot do anything that a person who is unable to hear their voice can hear their voice. The interesting thing is that the language of the jinn themselves is different. They have a special language. They are able to speak and understand human language. Befriending jinn is not a hassle to go for experience or fun. If you enter the world of jinn of your own free will, they will be more involved in your life. Jinns usually do not give privacy to humans. In any case and anywhere it is possible to express to you. If you ask them for help, they may help you, but in return they may have requests from you that you do not want to do, but they will force you. The jinn have limited control and influence over other creatures, and the more the creature has a spiritual power, the less the jinn influence and dominate it. Therefore, those who do not meditate are more vulnerable than others and better refrain from befriending jinn. Ridicule and playfulness are things that provoke and anger the jinn. Generally and without regard to special cases, they have nothing to do with us and we also have nothing to do with them. They run away from the smoke and the noise of the city and the smell of sewage and so on. Like us, they have work and rewards.